SonicLAB TV.
I'm Shorn and this is Sonicstate, and today I'm finally getting my hands on the Impulse 49 from Novation. The Impulse range comes in 3 enticing flavours: the 61 key version, 49 which we're reviewing, and also the little 25 that only has 1 fader and 1 button underneath. We have the obligatory and very, very sensual hitch and mod wheels, octave transpose button, also change your tracks on shift, and then we get your lovely low profile faders with buttons underneath for soloing and muting and such. We have our screen, all your little buttons for editing your templates, your data entry wheel and little page buttons, 8 lovely neoprene kind of rotary encoders, and of course your transport, and 8 pads that can be used for launching clips, morphing your arpeggios, and also obviously drum pads. On the back we have your USB input. Now this is the only way that the unit is powered, so if you're using this without a computer then you're going to have to get an adapter that will power it by USB. You have a sustain and expression pedal input. This round you've got MIDI out and MIDI in, so that has to be noted that you can use it as to drive external MIDI devices, so this is a MIDI interface. In the box you have your DVD, and on that is very importantly Automap 4 and a link to the latest version because you need to get that. There's all the documentation, so that's the Automap user manual and also the user manual for your Impulse. Also some stuff to set up the templates that come with it for Native Instruments FM8 and Massive. There's also Loop Master samples over 1 GB and 502 megabytes of Mike the Drummer samples. You get the base station Novation model of the classic synth. I get a license for that, and the installer obviously, and getting started guide ships with Ableton Lite, and also a little discounty thing, so when you want to upgrade to a different version of Live, you can. And did I say a USB lead that is 2 meters long, which isn't angled? The keyboard is like something else. This semi-weighted action is really, really beautiful. It's not so heavy that it's awkward to play, and the sensitivity is something else. You can just tickle the keys, or you can just go to town. And with these kind of high quality east-west samples, this is just absolutely beautiful. Obviously using a sustain pedal, and personally this is something that I've been really looking for, and I haven't played a keyboard of this kind of price range that just plays so beautifully. All I need to do now is learn how to play the piano. The Impulse can hold up to 20 templates, and it ships with 14 preset ones. The awesome thing about this screen and the way that it's set up is it's giving you constant information. So even without Automap 4, when you're on stage, it's just telling you exactly what's going on. You even have a preview mode where you can see what is sent, what CCs are being sent out without actually sending them to the hardware, so they won't change any parameters on the hardware. So on the fly, this is just awesome. Really, really, really good design and worth its weight in gold. What is epically cool is you can split the keyboard into zones, up to 4 zones. So you can choose what output is coming out MIDI wise, octaves, obviously the key span. So it's genius, you can control 4 instruments. So I've got a Moog here, I've got a Mofo there, I've got a MKS50 up here, and then right at the top, a little Dopefer. Hi, I've just eaten a biscuit. Automap 4, wow, this is a whole different can of worms. Forget Automap Pro, it's gone. So now we just have Automap 4. Check it. On your DVD, you have a wicked little link to get the latest version of Automap. As of doing this video, we're on Automap 4.1. It actually instantly detects what DAWs I have on my system, and also the plugins. So there's a list of the plugins, and you can just choose which one you want to auto map. And instead of having to wade through any kind of documentation, you literally pick the DAW that you want to set up. and your controller, and you set it up, and it gives you step-by-step instructions. So it's Automap the plugins that I've chosen, and then you go to the next stage, tells you how to configure it, plug the thing in, do various moves. So this is for Logic, and it's really totally idiot-proof. These are the officially supported DAWs. On Mac, you've got Logic, Live, of course, should have said that first, Pro Tools, Reason, and Cubase. And on PC, obviously you lose Logic because it's not on a PC, but you gain Sonar, which solely is. First port of call, naturally, is Ableton Live. And once you've done the setup that comes with it, I just explained, you're ready to rumble. Now, I did have to download the latest version of Ableton Live just to actually get the Novation Impulse up as a control surface. But the setup is very easy and very well explained. If we go straight in and just dragged an instrument into that track, and once I've done that, if I go into the plugin mode, the 8 encoders are automatically they're changing those macros. So really simple. You have kind of 2 modes on the faders. When you're in mixer mode, that defaults to the track faders, and then underneath you've got the buttons which turn the tracks on and off, or they toggle or they solo track. Master fader, clearly master fader. In MIDI mode, it means that these you can assign them to whatever you want. And then over here, much the same. You plug in to control your plugins inside your DAW. MIDI you've assigned them wherever. Or if you go into mixer mode, they'll do things like pan. So you can see that pan on that first channel. And of course, the screen is telling you all the time what it's doing, which is really handy because if you don't know how to do it, the screen does. So what I can do is go into clip mode by pressing those buttons together, and if I've got a track arm, for example, I can start recording into a clip. Okay, here's one I made earlier, so it's a session with a bit more going on. You can navigate the grid, so I'm going down. There's another clip here we can launch. Yeah, it's just a little twang on the bass. There's a good one up here, so I can go up, I think move it across a bit. So shift, move the page, and then yeah, God knows what's going to happen now. It's sort of here, yeah. Cool. So like, yeah, it's really good. It's not a launch pad, don't get me wrong, but it's actually really good. You navigate around it. But what is stopping us, Novation, having like a grid, like a line around the area, exactly as you do with the launch pad? Okay, let's look at the art business. Okay, so if you stick it in art mode, you basically get the sort of steps of the arpeggiator. So if I hit some notes here, basically what you can do is kind of warp them, so you can take them out. See? And it's also velocity sensitive. So of course the pads are velocity sensitive. So you can put it in like and give it some welly, or you can put it in like nice and soft. Cool. So you can kind of play around. That's really mental with the whole swing thing. I mean, the variations is just absolutely ballistic. So in going to roll mode, so that we can change the settings in the same way as the art, they kind of share the same settings. So if we go into the setting mode, we've got the same sync. So you see what I'm doing there, Andy? Going through those steps, the kind of clock divides. The mental thing here, like a really creative thing, is of course you're going to record this as MIDI. So then they become notes on your grid, which you can edit. So it's actually doing like a whole load of syncopated stuff or just random rhythmic stuff that you wouldn't normally come up with. So there's 3 velocity settings on the drums. Let's take it out of roll mode. But like really sensitive, and they're really good. They feel like you can really clobber them. And because they're quite like that, unlike the nocturne's sort of pretty non-existent, it's, yeah, they're kind of like, you really feel the thump. I had problems with stability in Pro Tools 9 and Logic with Automap 4.1, but in the course of making this review, they brought out 4.2, so that's me checking it out here. So when I'm doing stuff, it's telling you what I'm doing, giving me feedback, and it's also the same on the screen. So that's really nifty. Only thing I did find in Pro Tools 9 is that it didn't automatically map the master fader, but you can do that with the Learn button. Now, my tiny little issue with the Learn button is also the Shift button. So you need the Shift functions to go through banks. So you might be actually going through pages in your in your plugin here, and it's kind of, I don't know, you have to be really conscious of it, because if you like watching the screen, you find yourself hitting Learn when you're trying to shift and vice versa. Then if I do want to remap, I can go to Edit Mapping, and then it shows me what's doing what. I could click on that and then it gives me the choice of parameters. That's really nice and easy, red and black, tasty. Obviously, if you've got like a plugin with loads and loads of parameters, then you're just going to have pages and pages. But I do really prefer it to 3. It has to be said, it's a nicer interface. It's not there in your face the whole time. So much better. Thank you, Novation. Okay. Street prices, 25 key one, which remember doesn't have all the faders with a button underneath, just one fader, one button underneath, but everything else the same, apart from the length of keys and the length of it, obviously, is 199 UK pounds, not looking down, 249 US dollars, and approximately 225 euros. The 49 that you have here is 249 pounds, 349 dollars, and 299 on the euro. And the 61, which as a musician I would definitely plump for 100%, 299, 399, that's dollar, and 349 on the euro. What do I think about the Impulse? Yes, definite winner. You saw me getting excited about the keys. Loads of funky features. Nice, cool tactile. You got that slight issue with the shift. I think you get used to that. Yes, total winner. And Automap 4, definite improvement on 3. And thank you very much, Novation, for making it more stable. So yes, that's me, Shorn, signing out. See you next time. Cheers.